I'm Luke with B38, and tonight me and Andrew are at Incheon Sungui Arena
for the K-League 1 meeting of Incheon United and FC Anyang on this Sunday night.
It's the first league meeting at Incheon between these two teams, and both sets of fans are very loud, as you can probably hear behind me. Anyang have pretty much sold out their section, and the Incheon home end is pretty full today. We're going to be giving you a lot of insight and some coverage as to what's happening, how the game goes, and then coming together at the end to talk about our experiences. Here we go.
Now this game is actually of extra importance because this is FC Anyang's first ever match, league match at Incheon United Stadium. Half-time, Incheon Stadium, it's Incheon United 0, FC Anyang 1. Anyang's first ever visit to the stadium in a K-League 1, in K-League 2. The goal was in front of you after 4 minutes, 1-1. What was it like?
It was poor defensive work. There was a corner that came in and the Incheon line stepped up and they stepped ahead of the ball. So they left the Anyang forward line without anybody covering. And so when the ball came across and nobody was actually offside, there were one of about 3 or 4 players who could have put it in. And 4 minutes in, that's not an ideal start. You expect people to be more switched on. It was just really poor defensive work.
What you make of the rest of the half then? Both sides had a couple of good chances. A game of limited quality, I would have thought so far. Not a huge amount in terms of chances. Anyang had a great one, trailing around midpoint of the first half, and then I think Garceau maybe had a good chance for Incheon right in front of where I was standing. But overall, fair result, or?
There's been a lot of possession for Incheon, but it's similar to last week where we can't make anything of it. We have a lot of the ball and we don't really create anything in the final third. It's lots of passing and lots of endeavour, but not a lot of quality at the end of it. I think it's probably a fair result as it stands because Anyang did have the better of the chances. Incheon really need to try and find a different way of making opportunities and a different way to kind of score, because what they're trying at the minute isn't working.
Well, we'll touch base at the end of the game, probably behind the Incheon supporter stand. Before we go though, as this is Anyang's first game in the stadium in terms of the league match, the two sides play against each other, and Anyang are on the season. What do you make of the atmosphere on this Sunday night?
It's been brilliant. The Anyang end sold out. Incheon have a lot of fans. It's very noisy, and despite the weather conditions, which is very hot and very humid, like everybody's singing, everybody's dancing, making a lot of noise. Brilliant so far. Let's hope the fans get repaid with a goal.
It's absolutely awful. That's how humid it is. Right, we'll be back in the end of the second half.
Yep. See you soon.
Bye. About 20 minutes to go, and we're just enjoying a hydration break here in Incheon. A kickoff at 7:30 p.m. It was 34 degrees. Humidity is probably about 80%. I don't know. It's extremely hot, extremely humid. Hydration break is absolutely needed. But with 20 minutes to go, the score remains Incheon United 0, FC Anyang 1.
So here we are at Incheon United. The game has just finished 1-0 to Anyang. It was a very frustrating game from Incheon's point of view. They had a lot of the ball, they had a lot of possession, but the crosses weren't good enough, the work in the final third wasn't good enough. And realistically, I don't know that the Anyang keeper had any difficult saves to make particularly. There were some easy catches from headers, but I don't know, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't see a huge amount at the opposite end in that second half, but it looked like a lot of the headers were going straight to him, as you were saying. Like, I don't remember one of those kind of kitchen sink moments, you know, where they just throw everything at Anyang, and you know, I think Incheon did hit the bar at one point, 15 or 20 minutes ago. But otherwise, yeah, in terms of a goalkeeping point of view, it looked comfortable enough. We were just saying before we started recording, Magosa had a free kick on the edge of the box, and I just thought this is the moment. He's gonna bury this in the corner, and he didn't. And maybe that was the moment where it just ended for Incheon.
Yeah, I mean, it's particularly frustrating because it's a very similar game to what we watched last week in Seoul, where Incheon controlled possession but just aren't able to do anything with it. Now, Lee Myung-ju's been missing, and I think he's a big player to be without in the middle of the field. And Kim Young-wan started today. He's come in the transfer window, but obviously for a player of Lee Myung-ju's stature, it's really hard to replace him and get somebody in who can do the job that he does. So Incheon got John Buck up next, which is going to be a really tough game on the back of their 3-0 win yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, just from an Anyang point of view, I'd say it was dispiriting for a lot of the fans. At the opposite end, seeing two of their heroes playing against each other yesterday for two different teams now. There's a lot of people still wearing the Thomas 55 jersey and the Mota 9. Those players haven't been replaced. It's difficult to find. Your recruitment and your scouting has to be amazing to replace those two, anywhere near the same caliber as that before, and yet they just keep grinding out results, especially away from home. There's something rather impressive about the team and how they're managed, I guess, that they're able to pull off results like this. I didn't think they could come here and win, but they have, and now they're probably in the top half of the table, and they don't have the deepest squad, they don't have the best squad, and they have quite an old squad, but they're just sort of hanging on in there. For Incheon, yeah, it's hard to know. I mean, I thought Magosa would have been a game changer when he came on. Looked like there was more quality on the bench, but as I said, it wasn't really a shot fired in that second half.
Yeah, and it feels like Incheon, when they are behind, they don't really have a plan B. We don't really have like a backup plan for what to do. We keep trying the same stuff. We keep crossing the ball into the box and it hits the first man, or it goes out for a goal kick. I'm not sure. It's frustrating. We've had a 6-week break. We've come back into the heat and humidity, and for Incheon, we're actually not as good as we were before the break. Anyang, I think they'll take a lot of pride from this. They've got a good result on the road, and it shows that even without Mota and Thomas, that they're still able to grind out results.
Yeah, very good. I was worried about them when they started losing all those players. We talked about it on the podcast before, but I mean, if you're going to come to Incheon and win 1-0 with a good defensive display, they'll be okay. They'll be okay. And obviously, they're not going to finish 12th. Their target is probably 6th or 7th. 7th, I think, is probably the best they could do. So if they can stay well clear of 12th and close enough to Final A, it will be a pretty successful season for them. Overall, so this is the first time you've seen Anyang here in a league game.
The fans were very impressive. They've made a lot of noise for the entire game. I think we've had other teams come and sell out the away end, but it was 90 minutes of noise. Fantastic. It's more of what we need in K-League. If you're going to go to a game, away games, like the away standard sections, is probably the where to go.
Yeah, it's always fun. I like going to the away end, especially in the Seoul World Cup stadium. It doesn't matter who's playing there. But it's always nice to go to the away end because it means, obviously, if Incheon win this game, it means a huge amount to the whatever number of fans they had here today. But obviously, as you know, when an away team wins, especially in a place they've never, I'm sure a lot of those fans have never been here before, and their first taste of a game in the stadium is 3 points. So yeah, you can see what I meant. It was good. Enjoyed it. We need more of these Gyeonggi derbies. We need more and more teams from Seoul and Gyeonggi that will stay in K-League 1.
And with a fan base that actually supports the clubs.
To come and show up. Yeah, because it was good. I mean, this is what you want to see. This is Korean football at its best. And hopefully Luke and I were able to bring you a taste of what a good old Gyeonggi-do derby is like in K-League 1.
Okay. Thank you very much. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.